For more, let's bring in Sheila Kahyaoglu, the aerospace and defense analyst at Jefferies. Sheila, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
That was sort of surprising how Dave Calhoun answered. Should he have answered that way?
I don't know. Senator Hawley came in pretty hot. I would not want to be questioned by him, if anyone. But I think the reason he hasn't stepped down yet is we are having trouble finding a new CEO. That seat is still open, and nobody seems to be wanting the job.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thorny issue. It's a thorny problem that Boeing is in the midst of, including potentially prosecution. And you write in your note that you just put out after today's hearing that prosecution is, quote unquote, almost certain, quoting Senator Richard Blumenthal, who called this entire hearing. What's your take on the violation of the deferred prosecution agreement and what the various outcomes could be?
I think Boeing will probably face another fine, just given the timing of the Alaska incident and the last settlement they had about 3 years ago. But I think, the key theme from this hearing was there needs to be more personalization in this CEO job, but it's hard to do that. How do you do that when you have 170,000 employees? How do you hear them all out? How do you do them when you have 2.5 million parts on a 787, like Dave Calhoun said? So what the hearings were asking for were hard, but I got to see another aircraft manufacturer yesterday, actually. I think safety is apparent. We've seen that in the business jet world, whether it's General Dynamics and Gulfstream or Textron and Cessna. Safety can be done on aircraft, and Boeing's safety culture is in question. They're trying to turn it around, and the new leadership is going to have to infuse its take into it.
Why are you so bullish on Boeing at this point when things seem so unclear?
We actually just published a note today on why we're so bullish on the cycle, despite all these short cycle headlines we're seeing and negative pre-announcements, whether that's American, some distributors are pre-announcing negatively. This is a global duopoly. There's only 2 aircraft manufacturers in the world, and air traffic is basically at 2019 levels. So we've had 5 years of flatlining and underproduction. So we're quite confident that the market demand is there. And as long as the supplier can supply, they could gain price as well, given it's a global duopoly. And that's our underlying thesis. Unfortunately, with Boeing, what's happened over the last 4 years and why the stock has not worked has been they have not been able to produce the plants.
Sheila, it's Tim. I share your bullishness, although it's been a frustrating move. I guess if we had traded this aggressively over the last 4 years, there was money to be made on both sides. No one does that perfectly. But I'm looking at your note, and I want to cut to free cash flow or cash burn. Because that's the story in a nutshell to me. And obviously, 24 is a difficult year. I saw from your note you think Q2 burn could exceed Q1. Where do you think this inflects, and why does it inflect, even though it's a duopoly and you would think it eventually has to?
It's easy. You just look at 737 MAX production and Boeing's share price, overlay them to each other, and it's essentially a perfect correlation. We think Boeing generates about $10 million of free cash flow with the 737, each of them they ship out. They were supposed to be doing 500 this year. Now the number's down to 400, and probably pressure on that given what we've done over the last 5 months. So they need to produce the MAXs, but they also need to do them without price concessions. We think the price per MAX doubles to 20 million. So Dave Calhoun was right today in that he hasn't been generating profits over his tenure, and part of it has been the concessions that have been plagued in the backlog. So they need to produce 737s. They need to do it right to customers. And they're having some new issues with the MAX certification on the 7 and the 10 variants, because there's 4 variants, if you recall.
If they're found, if there's prosecution under the deferred prosecution agreement, they're found in violation, Sheila, is there anything about that agreement and further prosecution that would impair their defense business or not allow them to sell, defense to the United States?
I don't think so, although I'm not a legal expert on that. But I will tell you about Boeing's defense business. It's not in a good spot in itself. They have about 5 problematic programs at the moment where they're actually delivering products at a massive loss to the government. So I doubt the government's going to pull that back because they're getting free product on the defense side as well. So services is the only business that's generating very nice profits at the moment.